And it reminds me of when I was a younger person playing football. And when I was a younger person playing football, we used to have a drill called bull in the ring. And when you were a bull in the ring, they would put a circle around you. And they would send people at you, and you had to fight people off of you, and you had to make sure you stood your ground. That's the kind of fight that we're in right now with Nina Turner. And let me tell you why I support her for the 11th District Congressional race. Because the 11th Congressional District is a bull in the ring right now. You're a bull in the ring when housing and infrastructure is a problem in your area because you got too much lead exposure for children. You got too much lead in pipes. You're a bull in the ring when infrastructure is not in place to make sure that we can make sure we close the digital divide. You're a bull in the ring in the 11th District when we're dealing with crushing poverty. And Nina Turner stands for making sure that we bridge the gap by having a thriving wage, not just a living wage, but a thriving wage, and making sure that we have at least $15 an hour. You're a bull in the ring when so many people in our neighborhood don't have access to quality health care, and Nina Turner stands for making sure we have Medicare and Medicaid for all, and having a system where everybody knows that health care is a right, not something that is a privilege. You're a bull in the ring when you know you got health disparities, when you got too many health disparities, because in areas that I represent has the lowest life expectancy compared to some of their affluent suburbs. You're a bull in the ring when you have to fight for education because there's too many educational disparities. You're a bull in the ring when you know that it's elusive to have this American dream. So today, we're here to fight for Nina Turner. Nina Turner has been fighting for years. Don't allow this dark money and these attacks to discourage you. You got to get out there and fight like you're a bull in the ring because Nina's a bull in the ring. I'm out here fighting for my friend like my life depends on it because my friend been fighting for people for 25 years. She's a bull in the ring. This ain't nothing new with people hating on you. I believe in this movie that I watched called The Hurricane. And it says, one time when they asked him, how do you put up with all this hate? And the Hurricane said something, Reuben Carter said something that I never forget. He said, hate put me in here, but love is going to break me out. Nina Turner loves this neighborhood. Hate might try to keep on trying to hate on her, but love is going to break her through this race and make her the next congressperson for the 11th district. I'm a bull in the ring. Nina's a bull in the ring because she's been fighting for you, putting herself on the line, making sure that she fights for working people, making sure that she fights for poor people, making sure that she fights for the House of Labor and people in the labor movement, making sure that she brings together a big tent. People want to call her and label her this name or that name, and is she a progressive? Nina Turner fights for people. She ain't one way or the other way. She knows how to navigate the big tent that we call the Democratic Party. So don't let anybody tell you different. I'm here to tell you that my friend is a bull in the ring, and we got to get out here and fight like hell to make sure that we get her elected the next congressperson for the 11th district. I have the distinct privilege of introducing another bull in the ring. She's too pretty to be called a bull in the ring, and she's feisty. And listen, we got to show her some Cleveland love. I want to bring up to you, and I want y'all to make sure we give her all the love possible. It is my privilege and honor. Let's show her some Cleveland Beachland Ballroom, Collinwood love for AOC, Alexandria Ocasio. AOC.
That we're seeing right here in the back. I just want to point that enthusiasm there. That's what I'm talking about. That creativity, that innovation, that dedication. It's so good to be here with you all today. Thank you all so much for supporting and energizing, being the fuel in the fight for our next Congresswoman, Senator Nina Turner, for Ohio 11th District. I'm so excited to be here. Flew in just yesterday, and we're just here, and There's people around, there's reporters. They're like, how do you like Cleveland? And I'm like, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with Cleveland. I'm obsessed with Ohio 11th. I'm obsessed with Northeast Ohio because this right here is what it's all about. Cleveland's a working class city.
That's right.
It is a working class city. It is the epicenter of movements for labor rights, for racial dignity and civil rights, for economic dignity and all of our rights, environmental justice, right here. This right here is the epicenter. Don't let anyone tell you different. Because we hear all the time in Washington, they say, it is my opinion, and I say this as a humble New Yorker, but I think there's a lot of Midwest slander that goes on about what's possible and what's not possible here. But we know that the labor movement was right here in this country. This was an engine for the labor movement in Ohio and throughout the Midwest. This right here is where the impossible became possible in our country, in places like Cleveland. And we did it then, and we're going to do it again when we elect Nina Turner as our next congresswoman right here in Ohio's election district. And we've been connecting, and we've been doing canvas launches all over the district today. And that's what this is about. That this is the actual work. And that's why I'm thrilled to come here and be with you all today. The rallies, amazing. The dancing, awesome. Field is where we win this race. It's at the doors is where we win this race. It's not in the airwaves, it's not in the headlines, it's not in any of that. It's right here in our conversations with our neighbors and in our community. And it's in building with our community because it really is so impactful. And I'll tell you, in a ward like this, in Ward 6, when you knock on someone's door, it's very likely you are the first person to ever knock on that person's door to talk about them and what they need and how we make all of our lives better. And that interaction is transformative. It is. We did this back in the community where I'm from, out in the Bronx and in Queens. And when we first started running that race, we knocked on doors that were never knocked on before. Because what they told us back in the day, when we first started running in my first race, they said, it's insider talk. Only knock on the doors of what's known as triple prime voters. People who have voted in the last primary and general election and congressional election. Only knock on the doors of the most reliable voters, right? Don't waste your time, is what they told us. Don't waste your time on young people. Don't waste your time on people who don't turn out reliably. But you know what that is code for? It means don't waste your time on young people. Don't waste your time on working class people who are working 2 jobs. Don't waste your time on Black and brown communities. Don't waste your time on white working class communities. It means don't waste your time expanding the electorate. And we know that's not what this movement is about. This is about never stopping on this trajectory of growth. This is like that snowball going down that hill that just picks up more and more and more momentum. And that, because we're on that trajectory, that's why all this dark money is coming to this race. It really is. Because people out there, big pharma, big banks, environmental polluters, the folks that want to just dump in our water and poison our water and make our air harder to breathe, they know that in electing Nina, they're going to have trouble on their hands. It's going to complicate their plan. They know with Nina Turner, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's going to be harder for them to keep wages low. It's going to be harder to deny people health care. It's going to be harder for us to hold it's going to be harder, rather, to not give people health care. It's going to be harder for them to be able to get away with all that they've been getting away with. And that's why they're pouring all of this dark money into this race. But the thing is that that money is not coming from here. It's coming from somewhere else, from folks who do not care about the individual lives of people in our communities, whether it's here, whether it's in the Bronx, whether it's anywhere else in this country. And so we're here to take our democracy back. And electing Nina Turner is one way that we take our democracy back. It really is. Because here's the thing. Big money, it can buy a lot of things. Money can buy a lot of things, but it can't buy this right here. People showing up out of the passion and care for their own communities, giving up their own time because they know that we have a better world to win. And not only can we win it, it is eminently possible, and with continued action, we will win it. We will. And they can't buy that. And because they can't buy you, that means they can't buy her, and they can't buy a movement. And when they find something they can't buy, it's got them shaking in their boots. Let them shake. Let them shake, because we're going to win. That's what we need to go. We need to keep pushing. And so I want to thank you all. We were talking earlier today, we're out in Cleveland Heights, and one of the things that I was saying is that we are here for reasons known and unknown. Because I believe that there are no coincidences. We're all in this room here today together for a reason. And there are the reasons that are known, right? The known reasons are what we're fighting for, that this is a movement, that we are stitching together our destinies. We're deciding to fight for everyday people and working people and take our democracy back. And we know that we are here to elect Nina Turner as our next congresswoman for Ohio's 11th district. But then there are the unknown reasons. We're going to discover, on top of all of that, when we're in the future, at a later date, we're going to discover the unknown reasons why we're here together. Because there's a future council person here in this district. There's a future PTA president here in this district. There's a future journalist here in this district. There's a future whistleblower that's going to let people know that something wrong is going on through the courage of their conviction. And those are the unknown reasons that we're going to discover later on. And we'll be here to support, we're here to support Nina today, but we're always here to support each other. Ongoing, cyclical. We're here to knock on doors to elect Senator Nina Turner today. But we're going to come back to those doors. And we're going to come back with a ballot initiative on another day. We're going to come back to try to raise the wage on another day. We're going to knock on the door for Medicare for All. On the day after that, we're going to knock on the door to make sure that we protect our community. And that is the practice of community and of change. It's that muscle memory. And we build on it and build on it and build on it. And it's always starts with the first door. It starts with the first conversation. This right here is the work of change that is underappreciated, that no one talks about, but is the meat of how we win a better future. This is what it's not glamorous. It's not, it's not the TV, it's not the headlines, it's not any of that. It's the conversations. Because there is someone in your life for whom you are the most influential person. It could be your mom. It could be your cousin. It could be your friend. It could be someone that you work with. But there is someone in your life that only you can get through to. And that's who I am asking you today to talk to. And so we've got 10 days left. We've got 10 days. And we got to leave it all on the field in the next 10 days. On day 11, we can rest, we can party, we can do what you need to do. We can restore. But we've got 10 days. And so my ask is that for the next 10 days, we leave it all in the field. we do something. And so what is leaving it all on the field? When we go out and we get our turfs and we start knocking on doors, if you get tired, just try one more door. Just one more door. If you're down or you don't know what to do, or maybe tomorrow you can't get out of your house, maybe you didn't get a babysitter, you can't get a babysitter, whatever it is, maybe one more phone call. Do one more phone call. If you have friends that are not here in the district, in the city, in the county, in the state, that support Senator Turner, ask them to phone bank. You shouldn't be doing this alone. Say, I need you to help me help her, to help all of us. Because that's what this is about. This is about solidarity. I'm here today. One big reason I'm here today, it's like beyond politics. When I first started running, and I was waitressing in a restaurant, I saw Nina on TV while I was cleaning glasses. And I saw her on TV, and it woke something up in me, hearing what she had to say, way back then. And that was part of my journey. When I decided and was considering running for Congress the first time, I was in a room with other people that weren't, your traditional groomed, people that were groomed for politics or any of that. I was with nurses and veterans, etc., that didn't hold elected office before. We were thinking about running for office at the time because we felt like what else was there to do? Congress was so off track in being accountable to working people. And a few people entertained the idea of talking to us that day. You know who one of those people were? Senator Nina Turner. She showed up. We didn't have any credential, any title, anything. And she shared with us what she could, what insight she could. She gave us that encouragement. And it made me feel like maybe I could at least try. Like maybe it was worth trying. That was part of that journey. You know who else was in that room that day? Cori Bush. Cori Bush. Now Congresswoman Cori Bush. That was 4 years ago. I've only been in Congress for 2.5 years. So I'm here to return the favor. Not just to return the favor to Nina personally, but I'm here out of gratitude for you all. Because you all constitute the kinds of communities that send people like Nina Turner to Congress. She's already been lifted and selected by this community several times in several different responsibilities. And she has shown how she stewards the power that the public entrusts with her. Because that's what this is. We are never entitled to these seats, right? When we get elected, this doesn't belong to us. I don't own the seat for New York's 14th Congressional District. My job is to steward. That power isn't mine. That power is the public's. It belongs to you. It is the people. It is your power. And just like in the people of New York's 14th Congressional District, you all here in Ohio 11th, you are selecting who will be the caretaker of that power. Who will be the caregiver of that power. And that's what this is about. Because there's too much of an attitude when folks get elected that they are not accountable to the people who send them there. And we select Nina because not only does she know it, not only does she believe it, but she walks the walk. It is not just about talking the talk. She walks the walk in how she builds this campaign. She doesn't take lobbyist money. She doesn't invite dark money from outside of this community in, She builds and builds everything on the power of the people that are here. And that's how we take our democracy back. And so I just want to thank you all so much for offering up your time and your energy and all of it. As the senator says, the time, the talent, and the treasure. I want to thank you all for offering that. And I'm just here to stand shoulder to shoulder with each and every one of you. Because there's a lot at any point in time. Everyone here is going to be caregiving some sort of power that is entrusted to them. Everybody here is a leader. You know, everybody here is and will be a leader at some point. And so we're here to all lead in the same spirit of service to one another. And I want to thank each and every one of you all. Let's go knock some doors. Let's go send a message to this country. Let's let them know that the people in charge of our democracy are everyday working people in this country. And that's who should be calling the shots in our policy. We're going to fight for Medicare for all. We're going to fight for a Green New Deal. We're going to fight for a $15 living wage. We're going to fight for dignity. We're going to fight to make sure that we boot out private prisons. We're going to make sure we do all of that. We're going to fight for the right to vote. We're going to fight to protect it all. One last note that I'll leave you all with. Ohio 11th District. This is a blue district, a deep blue district, a deep blue district. So what does that mean? It means that districts like Ohio 11th should be setting the example for the whole country. That's what it means. They don't have the luxury. They don't have the privilege of being able to be on the front line of the fight of universal health care, guaranteeing coverage to everybody. They don't have that privilege. These are rare opportunities, and we can't waste our time. We can't waste these kinds of opportunities on settling for less than and hemming hawing and negotiating with dark money. That's not here. That's not here. Not here. Not today, not right now, not when the stakes are so high. No, We are here to lead. Communities like these lead. They set the example. They set the pace. Before I was elected, one of the reasons I decided to run was because my own representation wasn't doing its job. It wasn't representing our community. And we knew that we had that opportunity. And we cannot afford representation that goes to DC and pretends that those things are not what our community wants. We don't have time for that. We have time to set the pace. You all can set the pace. Cleveland, it's a working class city. It's a city of justice and values and prosperity and opportunity for all. No questions asked. Cleveland is for everybody. Cleveland is for everybody. Ohio 11th is for everybody. This state is for everybody. And we're not going to stop with this district because this kind of organizing, the door organizing, that lasts way longer than a TV commercial. Right. Way longer than a TV commercial. This right here is here to stay. It's here to stay. And we're here to build. So it's not going to stop here. Because we're gonna keep growing. We're gonna not just be, it's not just electoral either. We're unionizing places that have never been unionized before. We're gonna be cleaning up places that have never been cleaned up before. We'll be knocking on doors that have never been knocked on before. So thank you all so much for doing that work. And I'm here to introduce the woman of the hour, who's given everybody life all around this district today. Senator Nina Turner.
Oh, Congresswoman, for getting the stage all warmed up, baby. It's hot up here. It's hot up here. She laid that out. I just came out here to say, hello, somebody. I want to thank Councilman Blaine Griffin, Big Griff, we call him, for setting the stage and laying it out. Colin Wood, it's good to be here with you. And everybody who is here today who may not necessarily live in this community, but you are here for us to do a new thing and a beautiful thing together. So I do need you, as Big Griff laid out, as the Congress lady laid out, to just get out there and knock on one more door, to use your time, your talent, and your treasure so that we can have transformation in this district, which will transform not only this district, but this state and this nation, and dare I say, the world. You know, one of the great civil rights activists of the 20th century, you may know her, her name is Ella Baker. She said, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. So people want to know why we are on assignment, on mission to change the material conditions of the people in this district, this state, and this nation, is because if we believe in freedom, we cannot rest. So that means having universal health care in these United States of America makes no sense that we are the only industrialized nation on the face of God's green earth that does not have universal health care. We can have it, it's just a matter of political will because we got the money. We are a wealthy nation. Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody.
We can cancel student debt right now and give relief, $1.7 trillion worth of relief that has both a class and a caste component. In other words, it has a class component and it has a racial component because black women hold the largest amount of student debt in the United States of America. Hello, somebody. Let's go on and relieve that student debt. Let's do that. We can do that. And we can also guarantee in this nation that people are able to have clean air, clean food, clean water. That is the minimum. I want to live in a nation where the workaday people can live a good life and they don't have to work 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 jobs, string them together just to make ends meet. But meanwhile, in their communities, they left wanting because their quality of life is eroding. We've been talking about this all day. One job should, in fact, be enough. And we have to bring back, well, hell, I ain't going to say bring back because, we just have forgotten. In terms of why it is so important that each one reach one, each one teach one, each one lift one, that poverty is a policy choice and we can make new choices. Hello, somebody.
Hello.
You can make new choices. So I want to go to this Congress to continue my work for this district, to continue my work for this state, and also continue my work for this nation. I have been blessed to carry the hopes and the dreams and the heart and the passion of this district with me all over this country, traveling side by side with Senator Bernard Sanders. Hello, somebody. Traveling side by side with other freedom fighters in this real time, shouting out our revolution in here. Hello, somebody.
Hey, hey.
And guess what? You don't have to have a fancy title to want to do right by people. You don't have to have a fancy title to want to do what is just, what is right, and what is good. What I want to leave you with this afternoon as we go to Canvas is that you are the difference makers. Yeah, my sister, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, came into this state to help galvanize in this district. My brother, Big Griff, Councilman Blaine Griffin, is here to help galvanize in our home city where we lay our head on the pillow at night. There are others that will come into this district to help us do what my sister Rosario Dawson once said when we were on the trail in 2016. She said to an audience that was feeling really low, she said, I'm here to encourage your courage. We are here to encourage your courage. And it takes courage to go against the status quo. It don't take no courage to say you're going to go along to get along. It don't take no courage to say you're going to rubber stamp everything else somebody believes and says instead of analyzing the situation to determine what is in the best interest of the people who elect you to serve. It don't take no courage to throw up pictures and people's names. It don't take no courage to put a red box up on your website and try to attract dark money into a district that has never seen this level of dark money spent to try to manipulate the electorate. It don't take courage to do those kinds of things. But what it takes courage to do is to stand up in the face of adversity. To say that in this city, that is the largest poor city of its size in the United States of America, what it takes to analyze that 50% of our children are living in poverty, or when we go to Greater Akron, that 23% of our family and friends are living in poverty, to stand up and speak a type of truth that says increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour is the floor, is not the ceiling. It takes courage. Because stop making excuses. It takes courage to say, I want to see Medicare for all not only pass, but to get in the trenches and fight for it side by side with people who are in the halls of Congress right now. It don't take no courage to say, well, if it passes, I'll support it. Put some sweat equity on that thing. It takes courage to challenge that which you love. The great James Baldwin once said that I love this country more than any other country. And that is why I reserve the right to criticize it, to critique it perpetually. I'm in that James Baldwin school of thought. And although I am a Democrat, Sister Turner is a Democrat, City Councilwoman, Democrat, State Senator, Democrat, the Democratic nominee in 2014 for Secretary of State, Democrat, Delegate for President Barack Obama twice, Democrat, helped to lead the Ohio Democratic Party, Democrat, supported Senator Bernard Sanders, Democrat. You can't challenge my Democratic bona fides. My bona fides are intact. Let me tell you what is more important to me, sisters and brothers, as I close this thing out. What is most important to me is not the D in Democrat, but it is the D in D's. Hello, somebody. What does that mean? It should be about changing other people's material conditions, the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class. And the fact that I got to go around putting an exclamation point because dark money has come into this place to try to manipulate is a daggone shame. I don't worship. Hear me clearly. I want the whole world to hear me on this. I don't worship any man, any woman, any party. I worship God and I serve the people. I serve the people. That's it. And that's all. And so I'm going to stand up with what is in the best interest of this district. And if that means sitting down with people who I might not necessarily agree with every single time, if we're going to fight for justice, I'm their dance partner. Hello, somebody. Oh, I'm going to work with this president when I get there, ain't no doubt. But I always have the courage to ask for more. Hello, somebody. Thank God that my ancestors had the courage to ask for more. We wouldn't be free today. Hello, somebody. Thank God that the suffragettes had the courage to ask for more, or women would not have the right to vote. Hello, somebody. Thank God our sisters and brothers in the gay rights movement had the courage to challenge this nation, or we would not be making the progress that we're making in this country today. Hello, somebody. Thank God that the Black Lives Matter movement rose up and said, not on our watch in the 21st century, will you continue to treat black folks like second-class citizens. Hello, somebody. And thank God we got people like William Reverend Barber, who resurrected the 21st century version of the Poor People's Movement, taking a page from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said we will bring together poor black people, poor white people, poor brown people, poor indigenous people, poor Asian people, poor people from all walks of life and all identities, so that we can move in a conscious-minded direction to change the trajectory of this nation, because we all catching hell. Hello, somebody. That's why I'm running. show these people who are coming in here, back making reference to what the Congresswoman just said, who really don't give a damn about this district. They will not be here after April the 3rd, August the 3rd. You hear me? They will not be here. They weren't here before, and they won't be here after. Because they're trying to buy a seat. We raised money on this campaign, $27 at a time. Hello, somebody. Because my only special interest are people like you. $27 at a time. 85% of the donations that have come to this campaign, our campaign, by way of the great state of Ohio, has come from people in this district. And we have raised money in every zip code in the 11th congressional district. Don't talk to me about what people cannot do. We've raised money from every state in this nation, including the District of Columbia. Hello, somebody. This is a people power movement, and we are on the move. And not only are we going to change the material conditions of people who live in this district, we are going to change this state, we're going to change this nation, and we're going to change this world so that life, liberty, and everybody's pursuit of happiness is in full effect.